Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Just want to give you one last quick message about the NBA Finals. I talked about the pie ritual and what lines up for June 9th. Somebody pointed this out. The Warriors are currently 14-0 in the playoffs and 29-1 since March 14th, Pi Day, the day Steph Curry scored 29 points on his 29th birthday. Again, in the language of gematria, pi equals 29. Up to the present, the Warriors are 29-1. If this series went to Game 7 and the Warriors won, they would get 3 more losses and 2 more wins, which would make them 31-4. You know, they'd have to lose 3 games against the Cavs to get to Game 7, and they'd win 2 more. So 31-4, a lot like 3.14 for pi. March 14th, 3/14. Why they call it Pi Day? That is a very interesting observation. Again, we see how streaks often end at 14. So if the Cavs win Game 3, then we'll know that the Warriors cannot sweep Game 4. If the Cavs win Game 3, fully expect Game 7. If the Cavs go down 3-0, I would say the sweep is likely June 9th. However, if the Cavs win in that game, it's going to end up going to Game 7. This is either happening as a sweep in Game 4, Warriors over Cavs, or Warriors defeating the Cavs in Game 7. But enough pieces are in place to see that the Warriors will win this NBA Finals. It's a ritual with the Super Bowl connected through the number 25, as we've talked about. Both the dates, June 9th and June 18th, which is Game 7 and Game 4, both of those dates have 25 numerology. Again, if the West wins, it'll be the 25th championship for the West, just like how the AFC claimed its 25th Super Bowl and the Patriots, Tom Brady's 25th playoff win all time on 2/5 with the 25-point comeback. Again, the name Kerr's 25. 25 years ago from this year, Steve Kerr played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was the year the Bulls beat the Blazers in the finals. And earlier this year, like I said with the Ghost Ship Fire, there was a riddle connecting to those playoffs. Talked about that back in December. Those same years. I said there's a clue here, something about the finals from 25 years ago. Well, in the language of gematria, finals also sums to 25. But Warriors very well should win this NBA Finals. I'll be surprised if they don't now that the chips are on the table. Either a Game 4 sweep or a Game 7 closeout in Oracle Arena. Something else to think about. Again, just in case you missed this, today, June 5th, 2017, this news came out. Search my video channel, Zachary K. Hubbard, Fire, Oakland. I put out several videos on the Ghost Ship Fire in December, and I showed how this was a ritual for the NBA Finals, and it meant that the Warriors and Cavs would meet again, and it was a ritual through Chicago. The same night as this fire, the Cavs lost to Chicago. The Cavs got swept by Chicago this year. This fire, the Ghost Ship Fire, was a ritual in tribute to the Great Chicago Fire. And the same night that it happened, the Cavs lost to the Chicago Bulls. Now look at this. From the night of the fire, December 2nd, until today, the day of the news of this arrest, they're bringing the story back in the time of the NBA Finals. Said this was a ritual for the finals, again, from the beginning. It's 185 days later. And in the language of gematria, basketball's 185. Ghost Ship's 122, like Golden State, Oakland on the 122nd meridian. The finals 25 years ago, when Steve Kerr was on the Cleveland Cavaliers, he would later play for the Chicago Bulls. Look, game 1 of that series won by the Bulls with 122. The closeout game with 97. 97's the 25th prime number. Here we are 25 years later. A big deal made about LeBron missing the dunk, just like Jordan 25 years ago. So get this. The Cavs and Bulls all time after this season, where the last 4 games all played this last year, the Cavs were swept by the Bulls. Sweep. Remember, the word sweep has gematria of 23. Jordan wore 23. LeBron, 23. There's a riddle with the Cavs and the Bulls. LeBron is the greatest of all time over Jordan, possibly a narrative. There's also a riddle with the Warriors and the Bulls. The Golden State Warriors better than the Bulls team that three-peated and set the win record that Golden State just eclipsed. Anyhow, look at the stats. Cavs have 85 wins against the Bulls. Chicago Bulls have 122 against the Cavs. As I've been explaining, everything about these leagues are scripted to get these perfect tributes each season. It's all perfectly mapped out. Every game is rigged and part of the script. The game that was the night of the warehouse fire, look at the score, 105 to 111. 216 points. 216 area code Cleveland. From the, also, the last game, March 30th, that was the date of the Interstate 85 fire in Atlanta. Falcons equal 25. They had the 25-point comeback against them in the Super Bowl 51. From the Atlanta Interstate 85 fire, remember basketball equals 85. Just like Curry, 85 wins, Interstate 85 fire. From the night of that fire, March 30th, to June 9th, is 71 days. This is the 71st season of the NBA. The Warriors have been in Golden State since 1971. 71 been a big number. It was all part of Isaiah Thomas's ritual, passing up Havlicek on the Celtics. The season began this year, October 25th, 2016, a date with 71 numerology, to begin the 71st season of the NBA. That was the start of the World Series as well. Game 1 in Cleveland with Chicago. The warehouse fire, a tribute to Chicago. Cavs losing to Chicago the night of the warehouse fire. Makes me think of the triangle offense, Phil Jackson. Anyhow, that World Series, it was the first time in 71 years that the Cubs had been in the World Series on a date with 71 numerology to start the 71st season of the NBA. This year, the NBA Finals, June 1st, in MLB, the Indians and the Cubs, or not the Cubs, the Indians and the Athletics were playing each other. Cleveland, Oakland, just like the Finals, the NBA Championship. Last year in the playoffs, LeBron James played the same cities in the playoffs that the Cleveland Indians were playing at the same time in the regular season. Perfect script. Signs of the script. So, what I also noticed is that's from March 30th to June 9th, the date the Cavs could sweep. Or not the Cavs, the Warriors, the date the Warriors could sweep the Cavs, 71 days. Also, from the warehouse fire to that same June 9th date is 189 days or 27 weeks and 6 months and 7 days. All of these numbers are relevant. Cavs equals 27. Last year, LeBron scored 27 in Game 7. 6 and 7, the Warriors won 67 games this year. It's either going to be June 9th or 9 days later, June 18th. It's either going to be a straight-up sweep and shock the world, because everyone thinks that it's all rigged for money. You know, that's what people don't get. They think, the people who think sports are rigged, they're like, no, it's all rigged for money. That's part of it in a way. It's about making sure that gamblers lose. But you have to understand, the people who run the show, who control the leagues, who control the media, who control what advertisers are on there, they control money too. Money is not an object to them. They can just print more money. You know, that's who these people are. Money is here to control us. So they want people to lose on the money aspect in sports. That's why they make them nonsensical. That's how they screwed over all the people who bet on the Rockets the night Kawhi Leonard was out when they were facing elimination on their home court, and then they got blown out And I told everybody before that game was played that the Spurs were going to win. It just synced up perfectly with the numbers. But anyway, the Warriors will win these finals. That's what's important. That's what we figured out. Is it going to be in Game 7 or is it going to be in Game 4 in Cleveland, really punking the Cleveland fans? And down below, I'll link the NBA Finals playlists. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you can click on my channel name like this to see my playlists. Zachary K. Hubbard. Then find the playlist tab. All the playlists I've made, you know, there's a lot of them. Load more down here. I got playlists for days, you know. All sorts of playlists. And I should have even more. Sometimes I forget to make them. But also, if you just want to watch my individual videos, it's a good thing to check my videos because sometimes they don't load in your feed when I make a new one. But anyhow, just wanted to give you that update. It could go to Game 7. And hold on. There's one more thing that I forgot to show you. Where's it at? Right here. So, from March 14th to Game 7, if it goes that far, is 96 days. And whoever wins on that date gets their 16th playoff win. And remember, pi connects back to 16. Pi has gematria of 16. The Warriors could theoretically get their 16th playoff win 96 days after their win streak, which would finish with 31 wins and 4 losses since 3/14 March 14th. You see? So it could potentially go to Game 7. And remember what I showed you about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have the name gematria that's the opposite, the inverse of pi. So, you know, perhaps we do see the Warriors. Maybe that's what makes the most sense if it's going to go to Game 7. If it goes to Game 7, I imagine the Cavs will win in Game 3, and the Warriors will win in Game 4, and will be like deja vu. Here we go again, like pi cycles and circles. The Cavs will be down 3-1. They'll have to go to Oakland on the road facing elimination. They'd have to win 3-2, come back to Cleveland 3-3, then back in Oakland, deja vu 3-3 for Game 7. But instead of the Cavs prevailing, I think it will be the Warriors this year. The pi ritual is too deep, and I don't see how this pi ritual connects with the Cavs the same way, especially with Steph Curry having the Pi Day birthday. This year's been all about pi in a big way. So that's all, Truth Seeker. Until next time.